EA's return to Battlefield has been one of anticipation for a while, considering its last entry of Battlefield 2042 left die-hard Battlefield fans and FPS enthusiasts with a messy and underwhelming experience after months of potential having gone to waste. That, and with Call of Duty releasing entry after entry, people have been left with a longing for a new game that brings back memories of the old. Fast forward to 2025, and Battlefield 6 hits the market, leaving a familiar yet refreshing taste in not only the now 2-decade-old franchise, but of the FPS and gaming market in general. Now, before starting, a review of the beta has already been made, leaving me with a satisfactory rating of an 8 out of 10, hoping that the devs at Battlefield Studios will keep up with the complete project. Lastly, this review will cover mainly the multiplayer, for I have not played the campaign, nor the new Red Sec Battle Royale, and will cover the main modes, the gameplay, and the in-game mechanics to determine if there may still be hope in the AAA gaming market after years of disappointment and slop being pumped out like no tomorrow. The first thing to bring forward is the return of the classic 4-class system that has been removed in replacement of the Specialist system in Battlefield 2042. Here, the player can choose to be an Assault, Engineer, Support, or Recon, with each class fulfilling a certain role for everyone to work in tandem to pursue a common goal. Each class also now has a third signature ability, allowing more options for play. The Assault is the frontline fighter, meant for pushing the objective, equipped with a shotgun for close encounters. The Engineer has a blowtorch, meant for repairing or destroying vehicles. The Support has an ammo and med box, which is the first time, as far as I know, that the Support plays as both the gunner and the medic role, and the Recon has a motion sensor to relay information to the rest of the group. But how well do these classes work in reality? It's a multiplayer game after all, so people can really just play however they want. First off, the game asserts that treating it like Call of Duty will lead people nowhere, so an extent of cooperation is already incentivized. Second, with this idea, the classes function in a way that they need each other to make a real difference, yes, including the Assault. For example, the Assault needs to push an objective while the Support provides ammo and meds for them, and in the meantime, the drivers need the Engineers to watch over them while also taking out the enemy's vehicles, while the Recon relays information of oncoming waves of the enemy while providing Overwatch support at a distance. Even the equipment are tailored for each class, like a spawn beacon or deployable ladder for Assault, mines and an RPG for Engineer, defibs and deployable cover for Support, and a drone and jeep stuff for a Recon, which only amplify each class to the best of their abilities. Now, a player can only be as good as their guns, so how are they? The guns in the game, just like the beta, feel smooth and sturdy, with each gun fitting their role. I.e., assault rifles feel robust, SMGs feel light, shotguns feel chunky, sniper rifles feel precise, and LMGs feel as they should be. Gameplay-wise, each map is a chaotic mess, allowing the lobby to essentially do whatever they want, and each of them feel distinct from the other, like Liberation Peak consisting of a mountain range while making it a sniper's paradise, to the Siege of Cairo, consisting of open streets and tight alleyways, allowing for a combination of vehicle combat and close quarters. The environment is heavily destructible too, and it's commonplace for the place to be completely leveled by the end of the match. The player would also have a plethora of tools to aid in this destruction, from the aforementioned Jeep stuff, RPGs, and tanks, but also grenade launchers, tow launchers, and now a sledgehammer. And just speaking of which, the game brought back dog tag executions, like in Battlefield 4, where you snag someone's dog tags after driving a knife into their chest. But with the sledgehammer, it allows the player to comically bonk them in the face before snagging their dog tag. This weapon in particular also allows one to destroy entire chunks of a building if the player whacks it enough times. The vehicles are plentiful and wide in variety, from jeeps to tanks, helicopters, and fighter jets, completely opening a new outlet of gameplay for the match, and just like the previous games, allowing a 50-50 chance of either crashing and burning or pulling one hell of a cinematic shot. I guess you guys could tell which one I would be. But even if not, do their job in either trampling a building, getting to an objective fast, providing air support, or the best use, loading them with Jeep stuff and ramming into another vehicle. The game also brings back some classic modes from the basic Team Deathmatch and Domination for smaller scale fights, or Conquest and Breakthrough for larger scale ones, or the true Battlefield experience. And the game also set up some specific playlists for one to play how they like, with the classic server browser and a custom search to suit the player's needs. However, not every game is perfect. And while I personally have had nothing but fun on Battlefield 6, I cannot deny that there are some flaws in the game. The first and most widely complained about is the non-lockdown on weapon classes. Yes, they have a class-locked option for you to play with, but I feel that the essence of Battlefield is that unlike Call of Duty where one can fulfill their one-man army fantasy, Battlefield is a cooperative game, so it makes sense for certain types of weapons to be locked to a certain class. Like Recon is a long-range class, so it makes sense for the class to carry a sniper rifle or a DMR instead of an LMG or an assault rifle, and so on. Overall, I think this lack of restriction can jeopardize the purpose of the classes, allowing more selfish players to do their own thing instead of being a team player. Another issue I have is the UI, and good lord, I do not like it. It reminds me of the MW2 2022 UI, where the game modes are listed off on top of each other, and it's just very messy, and the game would be better off with a specific section for the campaign and the multiplayer and RedSec, instead making it not so much of an eyesore to navigate. The last major complaint, and this is more of a gaming industry complaint, is the implementation of the Battle Pass and RedSec. I'm not going to say anything about RedSec because I haven't played it yet, but my major complaint, as mentioned all the way back in its original announcement, is the monetization and streamification of gaming. I feel like I can make a whole video about it, but the problem with this is that I fear Battlefield and EA would end up doing the same thing that killed COD's identity by the mass monetization of their game with skins and bundles and the appealing to content creators who shift the game to fit their own needs. I'm aware that I myself am a content creator, but I'm talking more of the type of changing the game completely, that it shifts its identity of the game in the first place. While they haven't gone so far as just implementing a battle pass, and it seems like that they're listening to the responses of the community, it can be a gateway to turn the game into another installment of AAA Slop. EA and Battlefield Studios released a good product right here, but never forget that they are still a AAA developer and publisher, so you should be very wary of where your money goes, especially since the average price of a AAA game these days cost me $100.79. Overall, is Battlefield's multiplayer alone worth the money? I'm about 75% of the way of saying yes. Yes, I think AAA games cost too much. Yes, the AAA gaming market is cooked, but I can't help but feel that this portion of the game as the main attraction is worth the money, mostly, but I don't blame people if they want to wait for a sale. The multiplayer alone is endless hours of fun, for the player to squad up with some buddies, or even some randoms, and the game provides a massive arsenal for the player to play with on the game's destructive battleground, allowing for the most cinematic shots or just general hijinks, which I think is the beauty of Battlefield. I will give credit to the devs for honing in on the nostalgia of the older games of Battlefield 3 and 4 to recreate a modern-day, grounded but bombastic experience, allowing it to be a refreshing entry in the franchise. Therefore, giving my rating of Battlefield 6's multiplayer an 8.5 out of 10. So legit, my flowers go to EA and Battlefield Studios for a worthwhile product that can hopefully last us quite a while. Just keep it that way. Thank you everyone for watching this review. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope that it helped y'all decide if you want to join the suck. And as I always say, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, and everyone in New Orleans, my name is Cobra, and y'all have yourself a beautiful night.